Welcome to the Explainer. Okay, today we are taking a magnifying glass to a number that, let's be honest, probably gives a lot of us a mild panic attack when we think about the future. You've definitely seen it. It's plastered on those glossy bank brochures, it's the main topic at wealth seminars, and it's all over the financial headlines. The infamous $700,000 retirement portfolio. It's so often quietly presented as the baseline, like the natural, expected destination if you want a decent, comfortable retirement here in Canada. But is it actually? Well, today we are going to completely dismantle this anxiety-inducing benchmark. We're going to dig into the actual data to see what the Canadian retirement landscape really looks like.
So let's kick things off with the $1 million, or, well, the $700,000 question. How many Canadian retirees actually have this much saved? If you were to just walk up to people on the street and ask, most would guess a really tiny number. A lot of folks say maybe 4 or 5%. And honestly, it is super easy to see why. When you hear a phrase like Canadian retirees with $700,000 saved, it sounds like some exclusive VIP private club. But we are going on a totally data-driven journey today to find the actual answer. And I got to tell you, once you start looking at the data the way a financial planner does, the real answer is actually a bit bigger than most people guess on the street, but way, way smaller than what the financial industry loves to imply.
All right, before we get into the numbers, we absolutely have to clarify exactly what we are counting here, because this is where so many conversations go completely off the rails. We have to draw a hard line between your total wealth and income and your liquid savings. People are constantly mixing up home equity, government pensions like CPP and OAS, and total net worth, treating them like they're all exactly the same thing. They are not. Yes, a house is wealth, absolutely, but you can't exactly shave off a piece of your roof to pay your weekly grocery bill, right? And sure, CPP and OAS are super important, but they are income streams. They aren't your own capital just sitting there in an account waiting for you to draw it down. So to keep our data crystal clean for this explainer, we are focusing strictly on liquid savings. That means the RRSPs, the TFSAs, RRIFs, LIRAs, and the cash value in pensions. Basically just the cold, hard money meant to directly support your retirement spending.
Now, what's genuinely fascinating right off the bat is the sheer massive scale of where we begin. 7.4 million. This is the very top of our funnel. This is the massive pool of Canadians who will be 65 or older heading into the year 2026. This is everyone, the total landscape of Canadian seniors. And from this gigantic starting block, we're going to start filtering down to see who actually holds what in their liquid retirement accounts.
Okay, our very first filter reveals some pretty brutal math. The first logical question we have to ask is, out of those 7.4 million people, how many have any retirement savings at all? Even just like a single dollar sitting in a TFSA. You might assume it's almost everyone, but the data tells a completely different story. A massive, massive share of seniors have an absolute zero balance in registered retirement accounts. None. Zilch. They might be living entirely on CPP and OAS alone, maybe relying on a workplace pension, or living in a home they own outright. But as far as liquid retirement accounts go, they've got nothing. This is the very first reason why that myth, that story, that every retiree is sitting on some giant, bursting portfolio, just totally falls apart when you look at reality.
So once we filter out that entire zero balance group, our funnel tightens up and we land on this number, roughly 5.8 million Canadian seniors who have at least $1 saved in a registered account. Now, hey, that still sounds like a lot of people, and it is, but spoiler alert, this is exactly the point in our journey where the funnel is going to start violently narrowing down as we start looking for meaningful account balances.
Let's move right along to our next cut and see how this builds. We're looking at the $100,000 threshold. Now, this separates just having something saved from having actual, meaningful retirement capital. A lot of retirees definitely have accounts, but their balances are way smaller than you'd assume. And why is that? Well, life happens, right? Maybe they got a really late start, where their savings were completely derailed by layoffs, caregiving for a sick relative, a divorce, or an illness. Good intentions are great, but retirement math is completely ruthless, and having time on your side helps more than anything. Now, a $100,000 portfolio is a very useful cushion. It's fantastic for covering surprises and taking the pressure off your daily budget, for sure. But it is not a financial fortress. It leaves a ton of seniors in this sort of fragile middle zone, where the balance looks respectable on paper, but the actual income it can produce is still very, very modest. And wow, here's where we really see just how incredibly fast our pool is shrinking. When we filter out everyone who has under $100,000 saved, a massive chunk of our 5.8 million people just vanishes. Poof! We drop the pool down to around 3 million Canadians. Just like that, over half of the people who actually had some savings are filtered completely out just because they haven't crossed that six-figure mark.
All right, now we reach a highly important milestone, the $300,000 mark. At this specific point, the numbers finally start to mean something truly significant in your daily, monthly life. Let's do some quick math. If you use a rough 4% withdrawal rate, $300,000 yields about $12,000 a year. So that's roughly $1,000 a month before tax. Now, on its own, no, that is not going to fund a luxury yacht lifestyle. But when you combine it with CPP and OAS, this is where a portfolio finally actually starts to look like a real structural support system. It is literally the difference that can turn a super stressful, penny-pinching retirement budget into a manageable, workable one.
Now, I want to pause here because this is absolutely crucial. If your household is projected to be below that $300,000 mark, that does not mean you have failed. I want to be incredibly clear about that. Being under this threshold is completely 100% normal for millions of people. It simply means that your overall retirement strategy just shifts. It means you'll depend a bit more heavily on government benefits, maybe some strategic housing decisions, workplace pensions if you have them, and just plain old strict spending discipline. There's absolutely nothing shameful about it at all. It is literally just the mechanical reality of how retirement works for a huge portion of the country.
But for the folks who do actually cross that $300,000 threshold, how many are left standing? Tracking our countdown, the pool of retirees drops again, down to just 2 million people. The folks who make it to this level usually did a few key things right over a really long period of time. We're talking consistent saving, staying invested through the bumps, avoiding major financial resets, and crucially, starting early enough for the magic of compounding to actually do its work.
Okay, let's tighten the funnel yet again, this time to the $500,000 mark, $500,000 in liquid retirement savings. That is a very serious amount of capital, and let me tell you, it almost never happens by accident. Getting here requires a ton of time, a lot of consistency, and usually a pretty strong income to build it up. The people who hit this milestone almost always had a long track record of steady accumulation. Maybe they had a great employer matching program, or they had a spouse who was aggressively saving right alongside them.
Now, before we see exactly how many people hit that $500,000 mark, we have to talk about a major paradox when it comes to Canadian retirement. Have you ever heard the phrase being house rich but cash poor? People see a completely paid off home and they immediately assume, oh, fully funded retirement, done deal. But remember what we talked about earlier? A house does not generate any actual spending power unless you sell it or borrow against it. And a ton of retirees want to stay right in the home in the neighborhood they know and love, which is completely understandable. But it means a massive chunk of their net worth is totally locked up, providing exactly $0 in monthly cash flow. You can feel incredibly secure sitting in a paid-off house, but still be incredibly cash constrained every single time the monthly bills roll around.
Okay, back to our liquid savings funnel. Once we actually cross the $500,000 mark, filtering out all those folks who might have fantastic home equity but much lower liquid cash, only 1.2 million Canadians remain in our pool. Think about that for a second. We started way up at 7.4 million, and we are already down to just 1.2.
And now we finally arrive at it. The threshold the financial industry just loves to talk about more than anything else. $700,000. This is the exact number that all those wealth seminars, the fancy marketing brochures, and the big retirement campaigns quietly treat as a baseline expectation. They talk about it like it's perfectly normal, just the standard finish line. But guess what? It is not the baseline. As the data definitively proves, it is the absolute exception.
So who actually has this kind of money just sitting there in liquid accounts? Let's break down the specific and honestly rather uncommon profiles of the people who actually clear this elite hurdle. Generally, we are looking at long-career public sector workers who also had really strong parallel RRSP savings. We're looking at senior professionals who literally maxed out their contributions for decades. Successful business owners who managed to sell well. Very aggressive dual saving couples, or late-life inheritors who are smart enough to preserve the cash. Notice a trend? These are not your ordinary, average, everyday outcomes. They are the result of highly specific combinations of high income, extreme discipline, perfect timing, and yes, sometimes just a little bit of luck. So, drumroll please, what is the final count? Out of our giant starting pool of 7.4 million, the number of Canadians over 65 who have actually accumulated $700,000 or more in liquid savings is about 720,000.
And this brings us to the ultimate punchline of this entire explainer. 720,000 people out of 7.4 million. That represents roughly 10%, exactly 1 in 10 retirees.
Now, remember the very beginning when we talked about people guessing on the street. People guess 4%, assuming it must be outrageously low. Well, the real answer of 10% is actually more than double those cynical guesses, which shows that this level of wealth is very real and not totally imaginary. But it is vastly, vastly smaller than what the financial industry implies. 90% of Canadian seniors absolutely do not have this benchmark. 90%.
Which brings us to the single most important takeaway of this entire analysis. And if you hear nothing else today, hear this. Stop comparing your household to the wrong benchmark. The whole goal of breaking down this data isn't to get you obsessing over whether you are in that elite top 10%. The real point is to help you understand your actual financial reality without that glossy marketing filter blurring your vision. It's to cut through all the industry noise and see exactly where the middle actually is. I absolutely love this quote. Retirement is not won by one number alone. It is so incredibly true. Think about it. A couple with $400,000 saved, a paid-off home, and a really solid pension is often in a vastly stronger, much more secure position than someone who loves to boast about their $700,000 portfolio but is carrying high debt, has terrible cash flow, or massive living costs. Retirement is a complex puzzle, right? It's made up of your savings, your housing, your income, taxes, and your own personal spending habits. It is the combination of all those pieces that truly matters. So Canadian retirement planning gets a whole lot clearer once you stop guessing, stop stressing about the brochures, and start looking at the actual honest numbers. The real benchmark is 1 in 10. Now, I want to turn it over to you to really reflect on this. When you look at that complete funnel and you hear that the real number of retirees with $700,000 is just 1 in 10, does that feel higher or lower than you expected? How does knowing this change your own financial planning? Think about it. And until next time, keep looking at the real data.